This is every token that a card from the original silver-bordered unsets can create. And today, we're going to go over how to create all 33 different types of tokens. And my apologies for the awful AI voice. You work with what you have available to you. Anyway, let's get on with the show. First, a few honorable mentions. These are cards that don't have physical token cards, but use other things to represent tokens that they create. First is Handy Dandy Clone Machine, which requires using 2 fingers as its token, but you'll have to keep them on the battlefield at all times, or the token will cease to exist. Pippa, Duchess of Dice, has you roll a 6-sided die, which then becomes the actual token, with power and toughness equal to whatever you rolled. Bonus points for using a green die. Last is Acornelia, Fashionable Filcher. While her card doesn't have you make an actual token, there is an Acorn Stash token, which helps you keep track of all your Acorn counters. These next 3 cards create tokens that Wizards of the Coast hasn't officially made, so I had to use mtgproxy.com to create these. First up is Symbol Status. This green sorcery has you create a 1/1 colorless expansion symbol token for each different expansion symbol on permanents you control. Chicken Egg has you roll a 6-sided die during your upkeep. On a 6, you sacrifice the egg and make a 4/4 red giant chicken token. Finally, we have Octabi Kong, an in-joke to Octabi Orangutan. This creature has you tap 2 apes to make a baby 1/1 green ape token. This can get out of hand quickly. Funny how Wizards has never made a 1/1 ape token before. Only a 3/3 ape token. But we'll talk about that in a second. Maybe we can get these tokens officially released in a future unset. But for now, onto the proper list. Speaking of 3/3 ape tokens, you'll have to work pretty hard to get one from side to side, which has you arm wrestle your opponent. If you win, you get the token. If your opponent wins, well, then nothing happens. But hey, at least it's at instant speed, right? Better start working out. BOB, or Bevy of Beebles, is a unique planeswalker whose loyalty counters are equal to the number of Beebles you have in play. You create 4 1/1 blue Beeble tokens when this enters, but just watch out for wrath effects. This effect also counts all Beebles, not just tokens. The Big Idea is the only card to create Brainiac tokens. These 1/1 red creatures might not seem too threatening, but the Big Idea can have you cranking out more than you can count after a few turns. By tapping 3 Brainiac creatures, you get to roll 2 6-sided die instead of 1. Then use the sum of the 2 die you rolled as your roll. Perfect for creating more Brainiacs. Unlike the construct tokens you're used to, Rapid Prototyper makes a construct whose power and toughness are equal to the number of artifacts you control at the time it is created. So they won't grow over time like modern-day construct tokens do. Fairy Airy is in the running for best contraption ever made, creating 2 1/1 blue Flying Haste Fairy Spy tokens that let you draw a card when they deal combat damage to a player. They get exiled at the end of turn, but it's hard to beat that value. Unsanctioned finally gave us a proper token for everyone's favorite carnival game, Water Gun Balloon Game. You'll have to be the first to 5 spells if you want this pink giant teddy bear before your opponents nab him for their own. Every Thingamajig does a whole bunch of stuff, but one of its lesser used abilities is from the card trading post, making a 0/1 goat token. Perfect for sack outlets or chump blocking. Gnome tokens can be made by 4 different silver bordered cards. One version of Very Cryptic Command has you create 1 as one of its 4 modes, while Gnome Made Engine brings 1 with it when it enters the battlefield. It is also a host creature, so by having something augment onto it, you could get even more artifact gnomes. Gnome Ball Machine pops out 2 more 1/1 gnomes whenever you crank it, and by gnome means can make them by removing a counter from a permanent you control. You can also then sacrifice that gnome to add whatever counter you can think of to something. A great way to put those gnomes to use. Three of the 4 unsets have goblin tokens, and there are 4 total cards that create them. Garbage Elemental, well, one of its versions can create up to 5 goblins with a good enough roll of 2 dice. Coupled with its Battle Cry ability, and you've got the potential for a lot of damage on board. Box of free-range goblins has the potential to make 6 of them, but the risk of spending 6 mana for a single 1/1 will turn a lot of people off of this sorcery. Blast from the Past is such a cool throwback. If you pay the kicker cost, you'll tack on a 1/1 goblin. Paying the kicker while paying its flashback cost will net you another one as well. Not bad for a single card. Finally, Gift Horse has the same goblin making ability as Garbage Elemental whenever you crank it. Not a common token. Road tokens are only made by 2/1 cards. Dispatch Dispensary can make one once every 3 turns due to it being a contraption, while this version of Very Cryptic Command can make one at instant speed. One of the weaker versions of this card, you'll probably be making this 2/2 with Menace more often than not, as its other modes are a bit underwhelming. Magic needs more cards that create sheep tokens. The only one so far is Flock of Rabid Sheep. Flip enough heads, and you'll overwhelm your opponent with these beautiful tokens. Unglued really did have the best looking tokens, and they were the first set to introduce physical token cards. Crow Storm makes Storm Crows. Crow Storm has Storm, which can have you make more copies of Crow Storm, which then makes more Storm Crows. While this token is cool, I prefer using some white border Storm Crows for that extra flavor. Squirrels and silver borders go together like peanut butter and chocolate. You get 3 different squirrel tokens from Unglued, Unstable, and Unsanctioned, with 5 total cards that create them. Squirrel Dealer requires someone from outside the game to help you make a squirrel, while Chittering Doom needs a 4 or higher on a die roll. Squirrel Farm has your opponent guess an artist from a card in your hand, while its original text let you target yourself for easy tokens. Earl of Squirrel is easily the best Squirrel Lord there is, with Squirrel Link being as powerful as it is hilarious, as well as turning all of your other tokens into squirrels, thus them receiving the +1/+1 buff. Finally, Form of the Squirrel has you essentially turning into a squirrel. You'll be pretty helpless without the ability to cast spells, but at least you can't be attacked or targeted. This is a tough one to break. If you've ever wanted to make a gold dragon, then Sword of Dungeons and Dragons is the card for you. After the equipped creature makes contact with an opponent, you'll roll a d20. Rolling a natural 20 will net you another 4/4 dragon for your troubles. Aside from the token being gold, this card would have fit perfectly into the D&D set, so close to being a black border card. Finally, we have come to Urza, Academy Headmaster, the wackiest planeswalker of them all. If we were just talking about token making, you're in for a treat. Urza can create a 4/4 gold dragon, 3/1/1 soldier tokens, 3 8/8 octopus tokens, or 3 assassins that kill on contact with a player, or a 5/5 flying demon, 2 hasty 3/1 elementals, a couple of 3/3 beast tokens, or 1 with death touch. For something a little more crazy, how about a 6/6 worm for each land you control? Or what about X/2/2 cat tokens, where X is your life total? How about an emblem from a Johnny, or Domri Raid, or Gideon, or Vinzer, or Elspeth, or Kira? In total, Urza is able to make 16 different tokens by himself, just under half of all silver border token generators. And that's not even talking about its other abilities, which you can find at www.askurza.com. But that's a video for another time. And that is every token that is able to be created using a card from the original 3.5 unsets. These have always been my favorite block, and I'm so excited that I was able to put this video together. It took me over 15 years to have a complete foil set of the original unblock, and I'm glad I was able to show off a few of the cards. Until next time,